Okay?
Because your instruction is easy to understand. You gave examples, so we as a writer, madali may masundan.
Okay na, nahanap mo na?
Yes, may yung sa Google Docs na bago. Oo, kompleto rin yun.
Kompleto rin yun. So, yun yung gagamitin natin. Kasi pag PDF, hindi ko malalagyan ng notes. Ano yung main reason ba't ka nag-enroll sa amin?
Gusto ko lang maging better pa when it comes sa about my grammar. Hindi ako masyado confident about my grammar, about how I talk.
Okay. Anong gagawin mo pag maayos na yung grammar mo? Anong next step?
Okay naman ako sa grammar siguro, but how I talk, kasi medyo nauutal ako, lalo na pag iisip ko. Di ba pag mga Pilipino, yung kausap, yung masyado makritik mo. So sometimes, instead na dire-diretso yung salita, medyo nauutal ka ba kasi nag-iisip ka, tama ba yung grammar ko or what? Alam, ganyan lang naman.
Okay. So, career-wise, may babaguhin ka ba pag nag-improve na yung English skills mo?
Ano yun? Career-wise?
Oo. May babaguhin ka ba pag nag-improve na yung English mo? Mag-a-apply ka ba sa call center or mag-a-apply ka for a promotion or mag-a-apply ka sa ibang trabaho?
I think I'm just doing this para mas maging better lang.
Okay. So, ano naman yung main reason ba't kami yung pinili mo? Ba't sa amin ka nag-enroll?
I saw your ads sa Facebook. Palagi ko sa actually nakikita. And then,
Okay.
and then dumating yung time na since I'm bored, and then walang ginagawa na nakakapagigil sa province, instead of wasting my time on things na hindi productive, why not spending my time sa mga training like this? Actually, yes, may isa pa akong training, pero sa iba naman. Pero mga virtual assistant.
Okay. Mga ano?
Virtual assistant.
So gusto mo maging virtual assistant?
Actually, wala pa akong plano. Maybe in the future, but gusto ko lang ba ma-spend ng tama yung time ko and then acquire more skills.
Okay. No problem. Sige. So, what do you call that? Anong gusto mong, napanood mo ba yung mga recordings ng coaching sessions? Yung ibang coaching sessions namin?
Hindi ko napanood. Basta ginagawa ko lang to everyday. Pag may oras ako, yun, sinasagutan ko sila lahat. Kasi may ginagawa rin ako may trabaho.
Anong work mo ngayon?
May negosyo kami sa family.
Okay. So, tumutulong ka dyan. Alright. No problem. Sige. So, congratulations nga pala for completing 22 pages. How does it feel para magsulat ng 22 pages?
Well, for me, hindi naman siya nakakapagod. Because I'm just doing this. Maraming mga oras. So, hindi naman siya burden sa akin.
Alright. That's good to hear. So, anong gusto mo pala for today's session? Gusto mo ba straight English tayo or Taglish or...
Well, I prefer straight English para at least...
Okay, no problem. No problem. Okay, sure. Let's have the session in complete English. I'm gonna charge you, I don't know, 2 pesos or 5 pesos every Tagalog word. All right? If you've seen the videos that we've had with the other students, what we usually do is we're gonna read through your answers, and I'm going to provide feedback on how well you've expressed yourself. Okay? So, I'm gonna go first. I'm going to read through your answers for week 1, activity 1. So, week 1, activity 1 is about introducing yourself. So, it says here, my name is Andrew. I live in Quezon City. I'm in my province right now. I used to work in our family business. Family business, the F should be small.
Okay.
Because in this situation, family business is a common noun. So I changed that. You're gonna see everything that I highlight yellow are parts of the sentence that I've changed. I studied at, name of school. I'm a graduate of, name of course. I'm also a graduate of culinary arts. I also work in Thailand as a teacher. I have 6 siblings. So for the 6, it should be a word instead of a number. If you're composing, if I have 6 siblings. But if you are going to write a complicated set of numbers, like say a phone number, or let's say you're buying something worth 23,925 pesos, instead of using words, it should be a number. Okay?
Okay.
So
But
if
for just
if
one number,
for
what's the
the rule is actually
word?
numbers below 101.
Okay.
So anything under 101 should be a word. Next. I spend my free time in online training. I love to play online games. I spend my time at night playing games online. I love to travel as well. I also enjoy spending my time with my family. Going to the beach every weekend is fun. Okay. Going to the beach every weekend is fun. I love to eat. I have to regulate what I eat through dieting. I don't like going to the gym. All right. Yeah, good job. So far, so good. I like the part where you were using short sentences and everything sounded okay. If you are composing your sentences in a simple manner, or if you're avoiding complicated sentences, then you're usually not going to have grammar problems. So you can avoid 90% of the grammar problems by writing shorter sentences. Okay?
Because your instruction is easy to understand. You gave samples, so we as a writer, madaling masundan.
Now, for activity 2, I'm just going to explain real quick. So these questions are common. So yeah, I see. You can change that capital letter. So you need to be careful with capital and small letters. Small details like that are usually Netflix. Ito pa. You need to change that. So proper nouns need to be capital. Common nouns need to be small, and names of people, places, and things. Where do you go to school? The other lesson that I wanted to teach for lesson 2 is I wanted to teach you the thought process. If you're having trouble composing an answer for a difficult question, or if you're trying to solve a difficult problem, the best way to solve that problem is by asking questions. The best way to solve like all sorts of problems is by asking questions. So for a lot of people, when you ask them the question, tell me something about yourself, and I'm not just talking about job interviews, I'm also talking about different situations like meeting a new friend or going out on a date. If you ask people to tell me about yourself, then a lot of people don't have a good answer, or a lot of people struggle to answer that question. The main reason for that is the question, tell me something about yourself, or tell me about yourself, is not just one question. It's a request for a lot of small details, a lot of small bits of information. So what I did with activity 2 is I broke down the question, tell me something about yourself, into 15 different questions. And if you combine your answers in lesson 2, like I'm Andrew, my nickname's Jesse, I'm from Masbate City, I live in Quezon City, and so on, you will be able to answer, tell me something about yourself.
Is this supposed the answer to the questions when you are interviewed in a job interview?
No, this is the version of tell me about yourself when you're talking to people.
Okay.
But,
I don't have what. Sorry.
If you are in a professional situation like an interview, you can get your sentences from here.
Okay.
So, like my example, if I'm in a job interview, my name's Kevin. I live in Parañaque. My previous job is sales. I used to work in sales. We sold products and services to different companies. And I spend my free time writing, cooking, and going to the gym. Right? So it's a combination of your work experience and your personality. Or your, like, what do you call that? It's a combination of your professional and personal experience. Right?
Okay.
So if I were, say, applying for a job online, I tell my client that my name's Kevin. I live in Manila because they don't know Parañaque. But if we're in Manila, they'd know Parañaque. I live in Manila. I used to work in a BPO company. We were doing customer service. I'm currently working as a project manager for an IT company. I spend my free time writing and building different tools online on my website. So yeah, that's my professional introduction for online work. So you change the content of your introduction depending on what situation you're in.
Okay.
But this is the basis. Like, this is the base introduction. And maybe you just need to add a couple of more sentences about your past job, and that's it. Why did I ask you to write 15 sentences? How come your introduction is just 5 or 6? My name's Kevin. I live in Parañaque. My previous job was sales. We sold products and services. I spend my free time doing this, this, and this, right? That's just 5 sentences. But why did I ask you to write 15 sentences? In a lot of situations, the interviewer will ask you more about the topic that they find interesting. So if my interviewer is interested in my sales job, they're going to ask me more information about my sales job. If my interviewer is interested in my writing, they're going to ask more about my writing. If they're interested in cooking or going to the gym, then we're going to talk about that. So it's always a good idea to have more sentence than you'll actually need.
Yes, parang chain question.
Yeah, there's always a follow-up question. If there's no follow-up question, it means that you said something that made the interviewer no longer interested in hiring you. That's been my experience in general. If the interview has become short, then I'm no longer considered for the position. Anyway, so yeah, I want you to learn how to break down difficult questions using simpler questions. Okay. I shared examples on the page itself, like on the page where you downloaded Activity 2. Just go there and you'll find the link. I just added the link last week, I think.
Yes.
Okay, next. So, week 1, lesson 3. It's about giving instructions. Why do you think giving instructions are important?
Giving instruction. I think it's important because we use it in our everyday life. Sometimes there's people who lost, and then they will ask that question. So giving proper instruction can be helpful.
Okay, that's a good answer. And if you're gonna work in, you mentioned you're taking a virtual assistant training. If you're gonna work as a virtual assistant, 90% of what you do is giving instructions. If you're gonna work as a call center agent, 90% of what you do is giving instructions. I don't know how you help out in your family business, but if it's a family business, I presume that you're in a management position. If you're managing other people, 90% of what you do is also giving instructions.
Giving instruction.
It's all giving instructions. And how well you give instructions will determine how easy your job is. If you're good at giving instructions, your job is going to be easy. You're asking people to do things for you. If your skill at giving instructions is bad or poor, then your day is going to be filled with headaches, right? We're going to go through your answers, so please read week 1, lesson 3, how to commute to the nearest mall.
Okay. How to commute to the nearest mall. So, I live in Masbate. That's my
Sorry.
That's my province.
Yeah, go ahead. Please continue.
The nearest mall is 1 kilometer away. From my house, I have to cross the street. I have to go to Barangay Hall because there's a tricycle queue there. I have to wait for a cab or a tricycle to get from my home to the mall. From my barangay, the travel time would be 15 to 20 minutes. You have to pass by so many landmarks, such as the food plaza and marketplace, the city hall and the people's park, the port which is near the boulevard, the basketball court, and the rodeo arena, where the competitions for rodeo festival happen. After a 15 to 20 minute travel time, we will arrive at the mall. The name of the mall is Gaisano Mall. The name of the mall is in the big billboard beside the mall.
Okay. So let's review your instructions. So you mentioned I live in barangay, name of the barangay. The nearest mall is 1 kilometer away from my house. I have to cross the street. I have to go to the barangay hall. So you cross the street, go to barangay hall, and there's a tricycle queue. I don't know how to get to the barangay hall. Is the barangay hall visible from after you cross the street?
Yeah, it
You'll see it.
here at my house.
Okay. So yeah, you can just include that sentence there. Like you can you'll see barangay hall after you cross the street. Go to the barangay hall. There's a tricycle queue there. I have to wait for a cab. Capitalization. Cab should be small. To get from my home to the mall. From my barangay, the travel time. So there you go. Another capitalization. The travel time would be 15 to 20 minutes. So these should be words. We have to pass by so many landmarks. Landmarks are small, unless you're talking about the landmark supermarket, which is a proper noun. Such as the food plaza and the marketplace. This isn't a complete sentence. The complete sentence would be, um, wait, uh, okay, so instead of using such as, you will pass by the food plaza and marketplace. Alright, I'm just gonna highlight this green so you know that we already changed it. The city hall and the people's park. This isn't a complete sentence. So, same, you'll pass by. You'll pass by. You will pass by the city hall and the people's park. You will pass by the port, which is near the boulevard. You will pass by the basketball court and the rodeo arena, where the competition for rodeo festival happens. The rodeo arena is where the competition for rodeo festival happens. So yeah, this will complete your sentence. All right. So when you write your sentences, it has to be short and simple, but it also has to be complete, right? Your sentence
Okay.
needs to have a subject, a verb, and the doer of the action. All right. After a 15 to 20 minute travel time, no S, we will arrive in the mall. At the mall. So you take a tricycle going there and you'll pass these landmarks, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The name of the mall is Gaisano Mall. The name of the mall. Okay, yeah, fine. So, yeah, and then You might have noticed I highlighted a bunch of words yellow, right? What's the first word that you see?
Hello?
Hello? What's the first yellow word that you see?
The. The.
Alright, it should sound
I
like
love how to
the.
get to
The. So it has a TH sound. Alright? So it's the. How to commute to the nearest mall. Alright?
Yes.
Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. So the next word is also the. So we're gonna focus on that on session two. On session two, we're gonna go through pronunciation. So please watch all the pronunciation videos on the page. All right, when you get to session two.
Okay.
The travel time would be 15 to 20 minutes. We have to pass by so many landmarks. Um, you will pass by the food. Can you read food plaza,
Where?
food plaza?
Food Plaza.
It's food plaza.
Food Plaza.
Yeah. So we're gonna practice the F sound on session two. Next, the word is rodeo.
Rodeo.
Very good. So yeah, that's it. Next, please read activity 4.
Activity 4.
Activity 4, talk about your favorite movie.
Andrew's favorite movie. There are so many great movies that I like. I enjoyed watching those movies. But there are some movies that stood above the rest. Maybe because I can relate to those movies. 500 Days of Summer is the most memorable one. It's about a man and a woman who had intimate moments, but they don't have a relationship. For no apparent reason, the girl suddenly decided to stop their intimate relationship. The girl is going to marry her real boyfriend. So the man got confused because he didn't know the reason. The girl didn't explain it to him. The boy realized that she fell in love with the girl, and she's having a hard time moving on. This really stuck me to my core, because this is exactly what happened to me. I love this kind of movies because it can happen in real life. By watching these kinds of movies, I can relieve all those positive and negative feelings.
All right, very good. So we're still having issues with the word the, but we'll go through that later. Oh wait, sorry. We'll go through that later on session two. So please continue to your favorite song.
About my favorite song, I always love the songs of Jesse McCarthy. But there's a song that stood above the rest. This song is special to me. When me and my then girlfriend broke up, this song helped me to realize things. The title of the song is It's Over. When I hear this song, I realize that I have to move on. When I realized that I started to move on, the healing began. I have to accept the bitter truth that we will not be together. There's so many songs I like, but there is no song that impacted me the way this song did. It feels like I've been freed from having hope of possible reconciliation. I still like this song even now, but with less pain.
Okay. Um, I'd connect this last sentence to the previous sentence. Like that's all. That's all there is. Yeah, there's a couple of capitalization issues here. Um, when you write a title of a song, you just add quotes. You don't need to capitalize all the letters, right?
Okay.
When I heard this song, I would move this here. and then I would add D to realized.
Yes, past tense na.
So this is a better way to compose the sentence.
I thought we have to shorten the
Yeah,
sentence.
you have to shorten the sentence, but um, ito kasi yung when I heard this song, ganito, I realized that I had to move on. Pwedeng my attitude changed. Ito kasi, ano siya, what do you call that? Yung when I heard this song, wala siyang subject and verb.
Okay.
So parang incomplete sentence siya. It's just a clause. So dapat kompleto. My attitude changed when I heard the song. When I realized that, I started to move on. The healing began. I had to accept the bare truth. Um, there's so many songs that I like, but there is no song that pwede mong tanggalin tong but. The meaning will not change. There is no song that impacted me the way this song did. It feels like I've been freed from having hope of possible reconciliation. I still like this song even now, but with less pain. Okay?
I noticed that you always discourage us about using but in the uh in the first.
And or but if and so.
Hindi dapat yan gamitin.
Yeah, as much as possible. Like 99% of the time, you shouldn't use that.
Because parang ano siya, parang link siya sa unang
Yeah, but
sentence.
it's not the same sentence, right?
Yes.
For a lot of people, the problem is they make most of their mistakes when they compose longer, compound, complex sentences that use and or but to connect multiple thoughts. And you've completed lesson 7, so the reason why you have the schedule is because the admin checked and you passed activity 7. In activity 7, we taught you what it looks like. Like if you're kept using and or but and tried to make your sentences long. Well, I wrote I wrote a sentence that has like 50 to 100 words, or I wrote several sentences that are that long. It's difficult to read. It's difficult to write. It's very painful to look at. Did you know this?
Yes, yes.
So for a lot of people, it's difficult to make corrections if that's how you compose. And I also noticed that when I was fresh out of college and I started working and I was composing emails and I thought that I had good English, all of my bosses complained because I was using compound and complex sentences. Like all of them. And you read the story.
Yes, yes, I read it.
You read the story. So that was it. When I began using these short sentences, my communication got a lot better. And I was able to land international accounts. I have a client that offered to pay me almost six-figure income.
Yeah, because it's easy to understand. It's more cleaner. It's cleaner than the paragraph.
Yeah. When you become an expert, you can like put two ideas every few sentences. That's fine. Or two ideas every maybe 5 or 10 sentences. Like that's fine. Because I still do that. I still sometimes have complex sentences in my lessons. But I try to keep it like one in every 10 or one in every 20 sentences. Because sometimes the only way to explain what you're trying to explain is using a complex sentence.
Yes.
But that shouldn't be the normal thing, right? The complex sentence is like a dessert, right? It's a dessert. You have dessert during special occasions. You don't have a dessert at every meal, right? You okay?
Yes, yes, I understand.
Right?
It's really helpful, especially when I'm aspiring to be virtual assistant. So I think it will help me in so many ways in the future.
Yeah. I learned that technique in my job as a virtual assistant when I was being promoted to project manager. So yeah. Anyway, So let's move forward to activity.
Right?
We're going straight to activity 7, part 2. I'm quickly checking your other answers. Like this looks okay. But, still has the same problem. You capitalize some of the words that shouldn't be capitalized.
By the way, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
What are your thoughts about the way I write?
It's okay. Well, the way you read is also okay, but you have like a few words that needs to be adjusted. Like my main problem ever since I started reading is the capitalization. Like that's the main thing, capitalization, and then starting a sentence with conjunction.
Okay.
I remember this conversation that I had with a teacher. So the teacher asked us why questions. When you answer a why question, you're supposed to say because, right?
Yes.
Let's say, why were you late? Kevin, why were you late? And then I told my teacher, because I was, because there was traffic and we didn't get here on time. And then the teacher screamed at me because it said, Kevin, do not start your sentence with a because. You say, I arrived late because of, and then you continue the reason. But do not just begin your sentence with because.
Yes.
And I remember being yelled at on 2 separate occasions because of that. And or maybe I just got yelled at once and then I saw someone else get yelled at. But do not open your sentences with but or because or and or it's always you start it like a proper sentence. Okay? Write 2 examples. Please write 20 short sentences about that. So you chose advantage of being a pet owner. So yeah, go ahead, please proceed.
Advantage of where are we?
Being a pet owner.
Being a pet owner.
Yeah, we are at page 16.
Advantage of cooking. Advantage of cycling.
Yeah, keep going.
Advantage of showing there. Just non-just advantage of being a pet owner. Okay. So here it goes. Advantages of being a pet owner. Pet owners have a huge advantages in the job market. Advantage in the job market. As someone who has a pet cat, there are some advantages for me for owning a pet. Most jobs are in the office. Sitting all day can be a health hazard. Having a pet can increase the opportunity to exercise. It also increases the opportunity to go outside. It can also increase the opportunity to socialize as well. Aside from socializing and exercising, there are growing concerns about depression. Having a pet can help you avoid that. It can also lessen your probability of burnout. Playing with pets can decrease your blood pressure. It can also decrease your cholesterol level. It helps decrease your triglycerides as well. Pet owners have better immune systems. Employees who have pets are more happy or happier. They are more stable emotionally as well. There is now evidence that if employees are happy, the organization thrives.
Yeah. Okay. So just connect this last one here.
Okay.
Okay, continue with the mobile gamer thing.
Advantages of being a mobile gamer. Being a mobile gamer has huge advantages in the job market. It teaches you patience. It can improve players' mood. It promotes relaxation. It wards off anxiety. It also improves vision and concentration. It teaches us to be more patient. The games usually start at level 1, and you have to gain experience points to gain level. You will experience so many hardships and make some sacrifices, such as money and time to be high-level characters. When you gain more levels, the tasks become manageable. When you reach higher level, you can take on greater challenges. These attitudes will be ingrained onto your mindset. That is why people who play games are advantageous in the job market. They value dedication to the job they enjoy. They know the value of hard work and patience. They are not racist, because they talk to other species in the game. Armed with this attitude from the game, they can help you achieve great things in your company.
Okay, so your pronunciation seems to be getting a little better. Then let's proceed. What are the advantages of hiring you?
Advantages of hiring me. There are advantages to hiring me. I like to talk with other people and help them. Communication makes me happy, not only in my job, but for my personal life as well. I worked for 8 years in a retail setting. We travel in different municipalities in our province to sell our grocery products. We have to visit our customers in their places. It always gives me happiness and satisfaction if the customer is happy. I love to create a friendly encounter with my customer. I believe in customer care. I want my customer to keep buying from the company I work with. I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Hotel and Restaurant Management. I participated in training about customer service. My OJT is in a catering service in a restaurant. It gives me an overview of how customer service works. I graduated culinary arts in Nika as well. My OJT in Nika is in a 5-star hotel in Makati called I'm Hotel. It gives me experience as well. All this accumulation of my experiences in customer care, you can expect me to be responsible and dependable in my chosen position.
Okay, I'm a hotel. Is that a good place?
That's in Makati, yeah, the 5-star hotel.
Oh, okay. I don't recall ever going there. I've gone to Dusit and what's the other one? Mandarin.
I think it's because it's one of the newest hotel in Poblacion area.
Oh, okay. So that's why. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
All right. I like how you read your sentences with emotion. Like you can do that already. That is something that I teach in third pronunciation session. So usually I help my students reading words one at a time. So we focus on the top 100 most used English words, and like I get them to count. And then the next part would be reading whole sentences, and then the final part would be adding emotions. And I can see that you're already good at saying things with emotion and proper intonation. So that's good to hear.
I am aware of how to pronounce words, but sometimes I really forgot.
Yeah,
Because
you miss a few words every now and then.
Yeah, because I don't use English every day, so I am not used to speaking English. That's why sometimes I forgot. And my province is Masbate, so our pronunciation here is sometimes kind of
Different.
yeah,
Okay.
matigas.
Yeah, sure. What are the words that I highlighted? Wait, let me go back. You mentioned advantages, so it should sound.
Advantages.
Yeah, it's advantages.
Advantages.
Yeah, there you go. So what usually happens, especially for long words like these, I'm just gonna copy this word real quick. It's going to sound more like this. So, oh yeah, sorry, we're not on the same page. So it's gonna sound like ADVAN, and then it's TGS, advantages. So usually you only have of the vowel at the beginning part of the sentence. I mean of the word.
What do you mean?
Okay,
How do
so
I pronounce
can you scroll up to um, page, like the part where you read advantages of being a pet owner. That's where I put the word. Go back up to page 16.
Activity.
Yeah, just a few pages up. Pet owner.
Pet owner. There. Advantages of being a pet owner.
Yeah, just below the word advantages, I put in
Okay,
the
okay.
like. Do you see it? So
Yes.
so it's advantages.
Advantages.
Yeah.
Advantages.
So it's like I removed the A and the E. Advantages. So it's the vowels at the end of the word are shortened.
Okay, okay.
So that's how it works.
Advantages. Advantages.
So it's the same thing with the word advantage.
Okay.
It's advantage,
Okay.
right?
This is new to me. First time I
Yeah,
heard about
this part is going to take some getting used to. So I'm gonna give you another example. So here, so you see I copy the word hazard. Um,
hazard.
you said it properly, but like look at how it's pronounced. It's pronounced more like hazard than hazard,
Okay.
right? Think about it this way. If you are encountering a long English word, the vowels at the end of a long word usually sound like they're not there anymore.
Okay.
Like this, opportunity. So it's opper, tune, and then it's gone. Nitty.
Opportunity.
Opportunity, right?
Okay.
So yeah, it's not exact. It's not clear cut on all the words, but you can expect that in a lot of words,
Yeah.
like playing. It's playing, not playing, right?
Okay.
So you just think about it that way. Like the end of a long word should be shortened. And that's kind of how a lot of Americans speak. They speak in a way that shortens the entire sentence.
Yes.
Do you notice that with how a lot of the, like if you're watching movies, you're gonna notice that they don't enunciate the entire word. Think about it this way. As Filipinos, we have two languages. We have the Filipino language. If you live in the province, you have your own dialect, but we generally understand or we correlate Filipino with Tagalog and combination of a bunch of different dialects. And then we have English. But when we speak English, a lot of the words that we say are enunciated. So the Taglish pronunciation of English words sound okay if you are still learning how to speak the word. I'm gonna read this last sentence here before the final activity. You can expect me to be responsible and dependable in my chosen position. That's kind of like the Taglish
Yes.
the Taglish pronunciation. You can expect me to be responsible and dependable in my chosen position, right?
Yeah.
That's how we read it generally. We read it like that because we're not used to saying these words. But when you get used to saying these words, you will naturally speed up. That's how Americans say it. You can expect me to be more responsible and dependable in my chosen position. It's kind of a mouthful, but yeah, that's how it is. All of these are. So I forgot this. Are. All of these. There we go. Yeah, I missed that. I missed that earlier, but here we go. All right. So for the next part, so you can just read the summary and you can just keep going. I'll listen for any errors in pronunciation or grammar issues, and I'll highlight it, and we'll discuss it after. So go through like the summary of what you learned from each exercise.
The summary of what I learned from each exercise. I found it.
All right.
Write the 5 sentences. Lesson 1. I learned to introduce myself properly. It can be applied when getting a job by introducing myself in a brief but concise sentence. In personal conversation, it's the same because we don't have to express ourselves with so many redundant details. About lesson 2, I learned how to answer this commonly used question in a brief and concise way. I am slowly grasping the concept of one sentence paragraph in this lesson. It can be applied in getting a job by answering these questions in this manner. It can be applied in the personal conversation because these questions are commonly used. I can answer it this way, clear and concise. Lesson 3, I learned how to properly give instructions. It can be applied in getting a job, especially in call centers. The job of a call center agent is to give instructions. It can be applied to personal conversations. Every day, we always give instructions to other people. Lesson 4, I learned how to build a connection with someone. It's to share a story which is something personal. It can be applied when finding a job because the interviewer wants to know more about you. By sharing my personal experience about the job, we can build trust. It can be applied in personal conversation to build trust and connection with strangers. Lesson 5, I learned a lot from this lesson about the proper pronunciation of some words. It can be applied to getting a job. It's important to fix these mistakes, especially when applying for a customer service job. It can be applied to personal conversations because it's humiliating to always be corrected by someone, especially in pronunciation. Lesson 6, I learned about sentence paragraph. One sentence paragraph. It can be applied to getting a job, especially when you're writing your cover or application letter. It can be applied in our personal affairs when you are writing letters. I learned that it's easier to write this way. Lesson 7, it reinforces my knowledge in one sentence paragraph. I learned that it's easier to spot grammar mistakes in this way of writing. I discovered that I like to write my thoughts. That's it.
Okay, cool. So I highlighted a few. Let's keep going. So please continue with part 2.
So, part 2, what's your feedback on the lesson so far? It's helpful. Before I took this lesson, I really thought that international is the correct way of pronouncing these kinds of words. I learned that it was international. Internet. I also appreciate the one sentence paragraph. Although I know this kind of writing, but I don't know how to execute it. I just read it somewhere. How was your experience? I like the scope of the lessons. I enjoyed the experience. How do you feel the lessons will help you communicate better? It helps me communicate better by learning the correct pronunciation of certain words. It helps me to express myself better through writing. It helps me to introduce myself properly without saying redundant and excessive words. What mistakes did we correct during the exercise? The correct pronunciation of certain words like international, internet, etc. I learned that there's another way of writing which is easier and concise.
Okay, good. How to answer interview questions. Okay. Oh wait. Well, you don't. You can ask me questions during the interview. I mean, you can ask me questions during the session. Like you don't need to pay extra for that.
Yeah, about the I don't know. I don't have that many. I don't have much experience when it comes to interview,
Ah,
a job
okay.
interview. So I just want to ask if you're conducting what coaching about job interview.
Yeah, we do. We do have it. Do you enjoy reading?
Yeah, I do. I really enjoy reading.
I have a book, but it's a little long. It's like 1,000 pages.
That's okay as long as I can learn something.
I got carried away when I wrote that book. I wanted to transfer all my knowledge, so I put everything there. The title of the book is Practical Call Center Job Hunting Strategies, and you can get like a digital copy. And the best part about the book is after you finish reading the book, you can get access to free tools and job application support. So
Okay.
if you're ever going to look for work, you can contact me and ask me questions. All you have to do is to just fill out the form. We'll have a coaching session like this. And if you tried and you failed, we're going to talk about how can you move from the failure and get all of the lessons and approach your next prospective employer more intelligently. We can also help you prepare for difficult interviews as well. I like the fact that a lot of the lessons that I teach in that book is overkill for call center. I was writing that book not just for call center, but how to get your dream job in general. Everything that I did to get from where I was in the past, to where I am today. Like I put all the lessons there.
That's really what I'm looking for, to be better, especially in job interview, because I don't have
Why do you feel that
when it comes
you
to
need help with the interviews? You sound okay. I mean, I'm listening to you, and yeah, you do have like a few pronunciation errors here and there, but we can fix that. You should be more confident. Oh, I have a question. Did you take the personality test?
I took the personality test, but I erased the result.
Did you save your scores? Did you like screenshot it?
Yeah, I screenshot it, but I remember that I erased it
Ah,
yesterday,
man.
I think.
Take that again because that's really important. Here's the thing. On session 2, take that test again, take a screenshot, send me your score. I can interpret that. You don't need to pay for the extra results. I can interpret that for you.
Okay, but you know what? If you can help me about the interview or anything like that, I want to express my gratitude as by sending you money or something.
Oh yeah. Well, we sell other training, so you can buy our future products or something like that. That's fine. We will really answer your questions about interviews during the session. Did you get the
By
2
the
weeks
way-
or the 6 weeks?
By the way, are you the only one who make all of these? Because I think that
Yeah, I made all the training materials. I hire people to help with the back end, but I'm the one doing the training materials.
I really thought that you really love to write, because all of this is so.
Oh no, I hate writing.
You think right?
I hate writing. I have a reputation for having poor communication skills. I also have a reputation, especially in grade school. I am Kevin who never took notes. I am Kevin who hates writing. So,
About confidence issue, I have confidence the way I speak, but I have an anxiety about I wanted to be perfect. I want to say to myself that when I do something, I want to give it my all. So that's no regret.
I imagine that since you work with a family business and you completed college, your conscientiousness score is higher.
Yeah.
So I suspect, like, even if you deleted your scores, I suspect that your conscientiousness is higher than 50.
Yes. I think I remember my conscientiousness.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 76.
See? Yours is pretty high. I'm like 51.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
I'm like 1 point higher. But here's the thing. A great majority of people have low conscientiousness.
Why is that?
I don't know. That's how people are built. How God created people, I guess. But that's how it is. Low conscientiousness. I took a course about that Big Five personality test. The people who have the predictor for success in work and business is high intelligence and high conscientiousness. If a person has high intelligence, so I'm pretty sure you already know your IQ score. So if it's fairly high or decently high, like even if it's just above average, like that's good enough. Because a lot of people who score low in IQ scores, they have a big problem. So that's what I discovered from taking that course in personality. But if
Do you
you
think there's a correlation between conscientiousness and then the IQ?
here's the thing. Here are two situations. If a person has high IQ and high conscientiousness, that person's gonna jump to the top of the field. But if the person has high IQ and low conscientiousness, then that person's gonna have a big problem. That person's gonna be miserable.
Hindi naman ako sa nagmamayabang, but my IQ, every IQ test na may IQ nung nag-apply ako for a job sa cruise.
Mhm.
Pinag-i kami ng IQ test, and then mga IQ test din sa mga internet. Every time na yung IQ ko from 120 to 130. Pero bakit hindi ako, hindi ako,
You don't feel intelligent?
and then hindi ako,
Your education does not match your level of intelligence.
I think so, HRM.
Maybe, yeah, like, maybe that's the reason why you ended up with us. Maybe that's the reason why you're taking other training as well. Like, you're trying to get trying to learn something complicated.
Actually, I don't want to pursue that industry.
Which one?
Not for me. It's not for me.
Sorry, which industry are you not trying to pursue?
I don't want to pursue the hospitality industry like cruise, or even though I took the culinary art, I don't want to pursue it.
Yeah, you did that for personal development. You studied that so you have a wider understanding of the world.
I think so.
You know how to cook, food is interesting, but you don't want to work in food. In my case, I like going to the gym. I like practicing martial arts and stuff like that. But I have worked in a gym, and I found out that I don't want to be a martial arts teacher. I don't want to be a fitness instructor. Like,
Ironic.
I want to be a client. I studied it. I studied coaching, and I studied all these. If you work for a gym, if you're the manager, bantay ka pag may event, right? So I ended up attending all the seminars, and I realized that, like, yeah, I don't want to be like that. Like, it's fun to know all these things, but I don't want to have that as my primary source of income. Like, I'd like to do something else. So
Maybe because that's not your passion. I think it's very important to know first your passion before.
well, I have a passion for fitness and martial arts. It's just that I don't have a passion for teaching fitness and martial arts.
Okay.
But like I can do like side coaching, and like if we were both in a class, I can teach you. I'm the guy that you can copy from,
Yeah.
but I don't want to teach you every day, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can teach you like once a week. Like, okay, like, yeah, here, let's fix this, and once that's done, like, okay, we're good. But if I have to teach you every day for the rest of my life, like, no.
That's not for you.
I enjoy teaching. I enjoy those topics, but I don't want to live doing just that, right?
Every day.
I want to separate my recreation and my source of income.
Yes.
Maybe you want to try learning something more complicated.